Hi guys, welcome back for another build. In today's build, we're going to look at cooling the Fractal Design Node 202 case. A lot of you might be familiar with this case, of course. It's a real slimline case right there. And the cooling requirements are that the cooler can be no more than, I think it's like 56 millimeters high. A lot of people, there's basically two solutions that people use. Today I'm going to show you the AMD, and they usually use the Noctua NF-B9 AM4, or they'll use the CryoRig C7. On the Noctua one, that's got a depth, if we look at the specifications down here, of 37 millimeters. For the maximum CPU cooler height. On the CryoRig, it has a depth of 47. You can see that right there, 47 millimeters high. So it's about 10 meters taller than what the Noctua is. Now, that 10 meters we can actually take advantage of, and that's what I'm going to show you today. What I did was a little hack on that Noctua, and I added a different type of Noctua fan. I added the Noctua NF-B9, excuse me, Redo 1600, and it's only $10.95, so it's like $10 more than what the L9A is, and that runs for what, $39 right there, $40. So you're talking like $50 to do this. What I'm going to show you here in a bit. Let me, before we get into this anymore, I'm going to take my, I'm going to turn this a little bit. Hi guys. See my little microphone here? I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to stick it up to the case here so you can hear it. Okay? I'm not sure what you can hear at that point. Let me stick this back up head again. There we go. But that's how quiet it is right now at idle. And if we look at the CPU ID HW monitor program, you'll see my idle temp is sitting at 28 degrees Celsius. And it hit a max earlier, 44. But that was just using it and watching some videos and stuff. I've been letting this run for quite a while here, so that's why that's like that. Excuse me. Sorry, my microphone's kind of screwy. But anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to run some Cinebench. And it's not, you know, to see the score, because you can see the score already earlier when I ran it, was 1409. That was before I did all the drivers and stuff. I just did a real quick check of Cinebench. And what we're going to do here as this video is progressing is we're going to run Cinebench, and we're going to monitor the temperatures here on this while I'm yapping here and clamoring on. So let me get this started here. Run. We'll go back to this. And as you can see, our CPU is going to ramp up here in just a second. There we go. We're at 100% usage right now. And of course, our temperatures are rising up. We're going to see what our temperatures are by the time I'm done with this here. And we'll take a look at that when Cinebench is finished. But for now, I just want to talk about the Noctua cooler a bit. There's actually two types of these if you are looking online. So I don't want you to get confused if you're going to look for one of these and put one of these in your own build. You got, I have them here side by side, the NF-L9A-AM4, which is of course is made for the Ryzen chips and the AM4 CPUs, and then you have the NH-L9A, which is made for the the AM1, AM2, FM1, FM2 type sockets. This of course won't fit on your Ryzen board, so watch it when you order this. Make sure you're getting the one that says AM4. And it should say on it, new revision. Now, these kits are actually pretty nice. Let me open this up here so you can take a look at what you get. This spacer, these spacers, these come in just the regular NH-L9A kit. You won't get them in the AM4 kit, if I remember right. But you can see right there, we've got a low noise adapter there on the left side with some screws. The cooler itself in the middle there. Nice little Noctua case badge and some NTH1 thermal compound. So they pretty much provide all that. In addition to that, you get a back plate that goes with it. It's underneath there. I'm not going to take that out, but that's how you attach it. You just take your old back plate off of your motherboard and along with the little brackets, and then you install their back plate with the screws. And well, there's videos out there that show you how to do it. But anyways, also in the kit, you get these extra screws, which are a little bit longer. These are the screws that normally come with it, that are screwed down onto the heat sink already. You can see the screws right there screwed in. And what the extra screws are for is for a little bit bigger fan, if you want to do a little bigger fan, because the stock fan that comes with it, as you can see, is a low profile 15 millimeter fan, 14 millimeter, something like that. And as I was saying before, this is a 37 millimeter cooler. So, and since this fan is 15, and most standard fans are 25 millimeter, that's 10 millimeters more space you could actually put in there to be equal to what the cryo rig is in height and still have plenty of room in your case. I don't think you can see it here. Let me get the flashlight and shine it in there and put it at an angle a bit. And you can, I guess you can kind of see it. Oh, but anyways, like I said, this is out now at 100%. Let me take off my microphone one more time. I'm going to put it one more time against there since Cinebench is running at 100% now and the fan speeds are all ramped up. And take a listen to this and tell me if it's any different from what you heard before. As you can see, there's not much difference at all. Not at all. So it's really quiet with that 92 millimeter fan on there. And that is, again, the Noctua NF-B9. Now you can see on the back here and on the statistics page on Newegg, I don't think I can focus there. It'll probably be easier if I go to the screen. Hold on here. That it puts out under the specifications 64.3 cube meters an hour. Now, if you want to know how that translates to CFM, you could just go to a converter over here and we can type in 64.3 and calculate that. What that's giving us is 37.8 CFM is what we're gaining out of doing this little fan swap, compared to the cryo rig, which puts out, I believe, 40 to 45. So it's not too far behind the cryo rig, but unlike the cryo rig, is quieter. Now, the NH-L9A, just by itself, without this little hack, is pretty quiet. With this added fan here, the swap, it is even quieter yet. And the advantage of that here is that you're gaining some CFM over the stock NH-L9A with that NF-B9 fan in there, because if you look at the specifications of that, you'll see the max airflow is 57.5 cubic meters an hour. And if we clear this out and type in 57.5 and calculate that, that's 33 CFM for the NH-L9A with the low profile fan. So we're gaining a little bit of CFM, and we are actually dropping some of the decibel level of what's coming out of there of an already quiet cooler. Now, if you want to get something that's kind of equivalent to that cryo rig, because, you know, you really want the CFM pumping, maybe you want to overclock a bit. I don't really recommend overclocking in this, but, you know, maybe you want to do it and you want to try it. There's absolutely some other things you could do. For instance, you'd want to take that NHL9A AM4, or else the NHL9I, which is for Intel, and do that same hack where you're going to remove that fan, 15 millimeter fan from there, and you're just going to replace it with another 92 millimeter fan using the screws in the kit. These ones right here. There's some options here on Newegg. I'm not sure what Amazon has. You know, I haven't looked around, but I use my search criteria here showing the airflow of 45 to 50, 75 to 80, and then above 80, and then also put 40 to 45 in there. And there's a few options. Some of these, I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to I mean, well, like this one, the Delta. Okay, this 92 millimeter Delta. Let's look at this thing, and this thing is just crazy. 90 CFM. Okay, that sounds awesome, right? 90 CFM. But, I mean, look at the RPMs on that. 4,000 RPM, 90 CFM. That thing is going to sound like a damn jet airplane going off. I mean, it'll cool your damn processor, I suppose, you know, and you can be all badass in your little Node 202 case, though, you know, any way you like. But, yeah. But there are some options out there, and really it's just, if you're going to want something a little bit better than the cryo rig, go with the NHL9A, and then maybe look here like on Newegg or whatever and compare. I mean, if I was going to do any of them for a swap besides the Noctua, you know, Noctua is kind of my favorite brand to use. I'd probably go with like the Arctic F9 or something on top of the NHL9A's heatsink. And that one puts out a pretty decent amount of... let's take a look here real fast. Specifications. There it is. 43 CFM. So that's not too bad. At 1800, that's, you know, pretty close to where that cryo rig is going to be, you know, because I know a lot of people like the cryo rig, but it's kind of hard to find. They have them like on eBay, but they sell them for like fucking $100. Like, yeah, who wants to pay that? You know, nobody. But yeah, just a little hack like that, and you can absolutely cool it down a little bit more, and you can absolutely overclock a little bit. Now, let's go back to our temperatures here. Let's see if Cinebench is done. Yeah, it's done. And let's see what we got. And we can see that the max temp that it reached was 65 degrees Celsius on that NF-B9 fan on the NHL9A heatsink. So that's pretty decent. And of course, you've seen earlier, I showed you what the volume level was like, you know, the decibel level with my microphone up there. And I don't know how loud that's going to be. I guess I'll find out when I review this video and hear for myself what you guys have heard. But on my end, what I heard was pretty damn quiet. I couldn't hear it at all. I couldn't distinguish the difference. And then again, I'm kind of old and my hearing isn't the greatest anyways, but still, I mean, I'm right next to this case, you know, I'm right up against it, and I could not hear that ramp up at all, and that was at 100% on those fans. Excuse me. There are some extra fans in here, though. I'm just running the Ryzen in here. I don't have a separate graphics card. That's because this computer is actually for my old boss. I actually recently retired from one of my jobs, my weekend job, just so I'd have more time to do other shit for myself. But, you know, I still do his IT stuff for him and what have you. And he had a Dell Inspiron slimline that the hard drive went out on it, and it's kind of an old machine. And he's like, well, might as well just build me a new one. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. So that's what I did. And he's like, well, it's got to be slim. And I was, oh, great. That gives me a great excuse to build another computer in a Node 202 case. And I know I've never done a video on the Node 202, so I wanted to put this one out there since I was doing one anyways. And but anyways, yeah, that's why there's no extra graphics card in there. He don't need that. He just uses it basically for productivity. He doesn't game. You know, maybe you might, you know, that's, you know, your choice, whatever. But with what I've done here on this one, there's, if we can go back to this light here, I guess if we can shine down and see it. Gosh, I wish I could show that a little bit more. But yeah, there's you know, at least over a centimeter, I'd say, of clearance between where the fan starts and where the filter is, you know, so there's plenty of room for that to breathe in there. And this is a Gigabyte B450i AORS Pro Wi-Fi, so of course it's got, like, you know, the onboard RGB in it here, there in the back, so it kind of gives it a little bit of little bit of dimension with a little bit of color when it's dark. You know, nothing glitzy. You know, it's a Node 202. It's not like you're going to RGB this unless you hack that case up and do something with it there. But that's going to be about it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm going to see you all in the next build. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.